Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another comic book review. Today's comic book review is Fugitive Doctor Origins, issue 4, or volume, depending on how you like to say it. So, last time we left off, the Fugitive Doctor witnessed what she believed to be one of the greatest genocides out there. And well, we continue with this. The Doctor and Talso are face to face on opposite ends of a dice, as the Doctor looks into an eye of an angry, vicious, and vigorous Time Lord, who is sworn to destroy all the other Gallifreyans that are no longer on Gallifrey, and so he begins to batter on about genocide. Meanwhile, Talso seems to give the Doctor a mysterious device to her hand whilst the man keeps raving on about what he did and how he believed it to be just. And so he then asks Talso to shoot the Fugitive Doctor, in which Talso becomes very reluctant, but luckily she has saved the mercy of it, as all of a sudden the Vision turn up, break through the door, and arrest the rogue Time Lord, or so is thought. After returning to the Doctor's TARDIS after Talso being arrested as well, along with the conspirator, the Doctor gets a message of a little beacon from Talso indicating that she knows the times and dates before the explosion in order to save the colonists. She points out that the reason she gave this to the Doctor is, of course, because of the fact that she felt very bad for what she was doing, and liked the fact that the Fugitive Doctor saw beyond the smoke and mirrors and actually saw Talso as a good person. The Doctor arrives just in time for the colonists before the explosion and manages to save all of them, taking them off to a far-off world where the Time Lords would never know about them. After this, the Doctor returns to Gallifrey to confront Talso and thank her for the mercy that she showed the colonists. But after this, the Fugitive Doctor returns to Division waiting orders for a new mission, and meanwhile having a conversation with the head of Division, she begins to discuss the nature of the events and asks whether the man in charge will be held accountable. The leader of the Division points out the fact that what he did is considered a mercy, and that Division isn't necessarily against it, they just wish they had come up with the idea. This horrifies the Doctor as she's not quite sure what Division is implying here, and then soon she begins to get the message. Division aren't exactly against genocide, especially not when it comes in the interest of Gallifrey. And so the Fugitive Doctor takes this moment to flee Gallifrey, and this seems to add up with the timeline of what we know happening currently in the Fugitive Doctor audios. Gat is sent looking for the Doctor, along with a bunch of other operatives, and essentially the Doctor begins to be on the run. I really like this comic book, not only because it adds up with the canon that we already knew, and some extended canon that has happened recently within the audios, but I like it because it really shows that the Fugitive Doctor is the complete opposite of Division. It shows that there is sympathy. It shows that they have morals, and most of their morals stand on the idea that they don't see themselves as small-minded as the Gallifreyans, especially not when there's such a big, beautiful universe out there to see. So what do I rate this comic book as a whole? Well, it's just as strong as the last comic book. Definitely much more, just as stronger than the second volume. Volume 4 really hits home on this idea of the bureaucracy and the drama and the melancholy theatrics that the Time Lords seem to put up. Lords of Time. This often reminds me of something I once heard in an 8th Doctor audio. the Eighth Doctor has always questioned this idea of whether the Time Lords are a force for good. They've always been portrayed as a force for good, but often in many shown appearances of the Time Lords, they seem to hit the complete opposite. The Shobogans, the original inhabitants, are the innocents. However, the collar people, the people in the collars, the people who are senators, all of those individuals are burdened by privilege. And this often makes them seem to forget the fact that they are just as much a part of the universe as everyone else. It also comes down to something what the second Doctor once pointed out as well, is they seem to strike fear into many beings by all these little myths about the powers they produce. And most of these powers most probably come from scientific knowledge of how to commit genocide or stuff like that. Yes, we've had a couple of outings and couple of instances where the Time Lords could physically stop time, but we never know whether or not that is down to their own natural abilities or whether that is just some science that they're hiding behind smoke and mirrors. And it really comes across in this, the fact that we're starting to bridge our way across to the idea of division, and something that I really hope that Big Finish going forward keeps striving to bring into light, is this idea of who division are. Are they a cult? Are they a warning? Are they some kind of job that you get enlisted for, like the army? Those are the questions I keep getting when I keep thinking of division. And those are the reasons why I love it so much. And for that reason, I give this comic book a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next comic book review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible day.